Armed conflicts of all sizes are happening around the world. Some people are oppressed by the government or have their basic human rights or lives threatened for engaging in democratization activities, changing their religion, being a sexual minority, and so on. When they cannot or do not wish to receive protection in their own country, they can seek refuge across the border and ask for refugee protection in the country to which they have fled. The circumstances and experiences of becoming a refugee vary from person to person. In some cases, disclosing that they are refugees or being in contact with people from their home country can lead to threats to their physical safety and mental well-being. Others are forced to live apart from their family members and find it almost impossible to return home. Despite experiencing so much loss, people are trying to rebuild their lives. In 1978, Japan started accepting Indo-Chinese refugees. Including those from overseas camps, more than 10,000 people were accepted. Japan also acceded to the Refugee Convention and, from 1982, established a mechanism for the individual protection of refugees based on the convention. In 2010, Japan began accepting refugees from their previous asylum countries with an annual cap and has been receiving resettled refugees. People who cannot return to their home countries due to the deterioration of the situation in their country of origin, such as Syria, Myanmar, Afghanistan, and Ukraine, have been granted permission to stay in Japan. For countries such as Ukraine, visa requirements have been relaxed and support for evacuation has been provided. The Refugee Recognition System is a domestic procedure established by the Japanese government to protect refugees. Once refugee status is recognized, refugees are allowed to stay in Japan for up to 5 years, which can be renewed, and refugees can invite family members to Japan. They are also eligible for social security services and settlement programs and assistance provided by the government. There are cases that these services are granted through other pathways. In addition to these, refugee status also eases the requirements to be permitted for permanent residence and Japanese nationality, and it guarantees that the refugees will not be deported to their home countries. Refugee applications may be made at the Immigration Services Bureau. Even if they are not recognized as a refugee, they may be permitted to stay in Japan, depending on their country of origin and living conditions in Japan. If they are not recognized as a refugee, they can request a review or go to court. It often takes a very long time to have the results of the procedure. After applying for refugee status, they will go through a screening process. While waiting for the result, they may be permitted to work. If they are deemed likely not to be a refugee, or if they apply repeatedly for the same reason, they may not be permitted to work, or they may not receive a status of residence. In addition, if refugees face financial difficulty while applying for refugee status, they may be able to receive support from the Japanese government. However, there is a review to see if they meet the eligibility criteria. Although refugee admissions have been implemented, Japan's various social systems are sometimes not sufficiently considerate to those who have been forcibly displaced in their home countries. Japan's refugee recognition system is also a very strict, lengthy, and complex procedure compared to international standards. Our website provides information so that as many people as possible can live in Japan with peace of mind. If you want to know more about the system or consult NGOs or experts, please consult with the government or private support offices.